So this is Delgado's website, so I know a couple of you guys are new to Delgado, right? And this is pretty much where you get to everything you need for Delgado. So it's dcc.edu. It's pretty straightforward. We've got the nice scrolling thing across the screen. Where you probably started out was your Lola login, right? And that same username and password for Lola that you used to register for this class is the same one you're going to use to access the online materials for this class, which are all available via Canvas, which they are available now. I forgot to turn it on earlier. I forgot to hit one button. But it's on. We fixed that when I first came in here. So you would click on that. And again, notice it even says Lola username and, of course, that same password. And the beauty of computers now is they'll remember these very complicated passwords they make us do now, right? So many capital letters, so many numbers, some weird symbol. It's enough to drive you crazy. So when you come into Canvas, it comes into your dashboard. You can adjust this if you want, and they've slammed this announcement at us. Remember to publish your courses. Guess what I forgot to do? But it's okay, because you guys are a face-to-face class, so I published it when I saw your beautiful faces. So let's see. There used to be some other view. Oh, here it is. That's because that announcement is messing me up. So you can have it like this, or you can have it like these squares where you can change the colors. Right? You can do all kinds of cool things with these programs now. Stuff that I don't have time to play around with. Except for this one, when you go to your courses, what I usually do is I make a favorites list, especially for me, because when you see my whole list, you're like, oh my God, right? So it's like, it just keeps going, right? So I just star the ones I'm actively working with, so my 3 for this summer. But you can see my fall classes are already in here, and last spring, and all the way. Oh, last summer went away finally. But it's just easier, and you see if you just click it again, it gives you that nice quick list. So this is us right here, General Microbiology. And I'm going to go to my student view so it looks just like it does for you guys. So I actually have all the materials for the entire course already up and loaded into Canvas. So you have everything you need already. So this is their syllabus page. It isn't truly the syllabus in the sense that we think of a syllabus, right? But I decided to go ahead and just put my contact information there for you. So my office is in Building 1. As I said, our labs are also in Building 1. So though I think for this summer, since I'm teaching night classes, and I'm pretty sure, if anything, they're usually done by 5:30, but I'll double check to see if this room is available. What I'm probably going to do is just come here early on Tuesdays and Thursday nights and hold office hours in this room before class starts. And I'll post my detailed schedule, and I'll even put that in my schedule once I check that out next week. And I'll put that here. So the main ways of getting into touch with me, of course, is my email, which you'll notice is not my last name. It was once my last name. The first time I got married, I changed my last name because everybody did that back then, right? When I got married for the second time, I told my husband, I love your name. My name is very important for my job because for some of you, why did you take this class? Because somebody told you to take Miss Burns' class, right? Now, if I go and change it to Westbury, it's going to make it harder for me to get students, right? And then I got to change my driver's license. Yeah, it's just not worth it, right? So we're a modern family. All 3 of us have a different last name, right? It's all fun. They still call me Miss Westbury, you know, when I go and do stuff that has my husband's name on it. And I answer to that because I am Miss Westbury, just not, you know, in writing, not official. But they won't change my last name, and the reason why I changed back to my maiden name, which is what Burns is Para, which was my first married name. No one could spell or pronounce correctly. It was kind of driving me crazy. And I thought when I changed my name, they were going to change my email here, and no. It's like, once you're given an email here, that's it. That's the only one you will ever have forever and ever. They're real insane about it. So, but I was like, okay, all right, you just want to confuse my students. And And this is what's called my Google number. So if you look in the directory, it'll give you the number to my office. And then if you actually listen to the voicemail, if you get that, it'll tell you to call this number. And so this number rings my office phone, but it also rings my cell phone. And you can also text me at it. That's the advantage to that. I actually don't even remember the code for my phone in my office to check my voicemail. But you gotta love technology, right? They email me the voicemails now. It's great. So I was like, all right, it's all good. But the thing is that it doesn't do the transcript. Like Google sometimes does a transcript too. Like if you speak clearly, I could like read it instead of listen to it too, which is really cool. So you can call or text me anytime for the most part. If I'm available, I'll answer. If I'm not, I'll call you back. Right? Some students, when they have questions, they prefer a quick text as opposed to an email, and I'm totally fine with that, and I'll quickly text you back. Sometimes I'll write, can I call you? Because instead of going back and forth texting, it's easier for a quick phone conversation to figure out, you know, what the confusion is. And I don't have any problem doing that. Saves time and energy. No one's abused that number, so I haven't had to change it. I've had it for about 5 years now, so I don't foresee anyone else doing that. But if it ever changes, it means someone's stalking me, and that's not good. You laugh. I had 2 stalkers once. That was before I had a Google number, though. He told the entire lab class in front of the lab that he loved me. Yeah. It was a little scary. So, I am married. I did say that, right? Women will hit on me, too. Apparently, I give off not the correct vibes. So, I don't know about this. This is like, I copied my course from last semester, so it copied over some of these dates. So some of these might be changing, right? So don't go by this. This isn't the Bible yet. By next week, it will be what we're doing. Unfortunately, because it's a night class, in the past what I usually did was testing in Canvas. But obviously we would have to go to a computer lab to do that. Unless all you guys have laptops. Yeah. Who doesn't have a laptop? One person. You have a tablet. That works. Ooh, we're in the modern era. Guess what? I already forgot your name. Dylan. I got it now. Dylan. Dylan, you could use mine. We could maybe still pull this off. Because I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate Scantron tests. Right? They drive me crazy. Filling in all those little bubbles. Right? And if you screw up and skip one, then you got to start all over again. Yeah, no. It's not cool, right? And then you have to wait for me to run it in the machine to find out your results, which won't happen at night because guess what? The division office is locked. Explain that one. We have night classes. The copy machine and the Scantron machine are locked up. I don't have a key. I'd have to call campus police. Good luck with that. So then you would have to wait until the next day. Or in the case of a Thursday night exam, you would have to wait until the next week. But if we use our computers and the Wi-Fi, you would know immediately. When you push that button, you'll get your score.
Do you think that the tech department is over there? Because for some reason I'm not able to log in.
Oh yeah, at night? You're talking about right now?
No, like...
In general, yeah, it's summer. Well, no, I'll tell you all this. I have 2 computers sitting in my office. One of them occasionally just crashes. Just decides she's done working for the day. I've had another computer sitting on my desk now for 8-9 months. I need the IT people to come in and set it up for me, right? Because they're real particular about that here. 8 months I've been waiting. They cut our IT staff more than in half. Really sucks. But the good news is I'm a techie girl. And during break, let's see if we can figure it out. Or at least, get you to where they'll get it fixed. So I do have connections. But I just haven't, pursued it. because the other computer does work most of the time. And I usually just use it for my students. I don't usually use it. I use my laptop. So, well, yeah. But Canvas, on the other hand, if you're having Canvas issues, right, these guys are phenomenal. And all you have to do is hit my thing down here when I'm in student mode. It covers it up and my thing. But right here is a help button. And they have guides, and they have videos, and they have instant chat. And you can call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They'll answer on Christmas. I kid you not. Right? So it's awesome. We pay for that, though, of course. That's why it's awesome. So if you can't ever get into Canvas, go to Lola, check your email password. You might need to reset it, and then it's instantaneous. You should be able to get into Canvas. But I always tell the students, too, if you don't see a class, go check Lola and make sure you're actually registered for the class before you complain about it not being in Canvas. Or in the case of my class this time, right, idiot me forgot to hit the publish button, right? But, you know, if you contact the professor, usually they're like, we'll troubleshoot, figure out what we may have done wrong. Anyone taking online classes? Okay. So you see your online class? Because it was supposed to be available yesterday. Okay, good. All right. That professor did her job, or his job. Okay, so I'll have my schedule, but I'm teaching lab. That's how come I already know Jenna? No? Amy. Damn it. I'm going to get them. I'm going to know them all before you know it. I know Amy already because I saw her last night. So I'm here every night, Monday through Thursday. And so, like I said, I'll probably do office hours right before class. I will be here on campus usually during the day. I'm helping out with the summer program that we run here, if it actually runs. Last I heard, we didn't have any money. Funding hadn't come through yet. I was like, we need to order supplies. We have a high school program in June, and we've got a middle school program in July. And no money in our account right now. It's great. That's all right. I plan on doing kitchen science. You know what that is? Science with the stuff you find in your kitchen. Right? So like baking soda and vinegar and all that fun stuff. Oil and water. Right? You can do some really cool stuff with the stuff in your kitchen. Cooking is actually science. So let's go to the actual syllabus. So I'll have a link here later. But all the stuff you want for this class would be under modules. So this is the departmental syllabus, the really boring stuff that most people don't read, but I'm required to post. This is my syllabus addendum, which is the really important stuff, right, that you want to know for the class. So you can download this, right, or you can view it right in the viewer. So we got our cute little Canvas panda who's loading it for me. And I'm very much a picture girl. So there's the pain in the butt 8-year-old, soon to be 9-year-old, who was probably about, I don't know, 2 or 3 when we took that picture at LSU. Which Mike has cancer? Did you guys hear that? He's going through chemo right now. I was like, Mike, not cool. Mike the tiger, the mascot for LSU. He has cancer. Yeah, I know, crazy. So the same stuff I said, but we're in building 2 right here on the, what are we, east side? Yeah. And this is building 1, right at the front of campus. This is actually my office. It's not that clean anymore. This is when I first cleaned it and moved in. That was numerous years ago. I've lost track, 8 maybe. It's very easy to find if you happen to need to go find me in the cubicle land on the west side of building 1 on the first floor. I'm the only one with a blue roof that I put up there myself because I have a HEPA filter in there because I have really bad allergies. And they literally almost killed me when they renovated the auditorium. My doctor's like, you might need to find a new job. I'm like, but I love my job. So me and my boss fixed it so I could stay. So as I said, our main website, you want to log on to Lola, right? As I said, they're available all the time. They suggest that you don't use Internet Explorer when working with Canvas. Any of the other ones, Firefox, Google, Safari, seem to not have any issues, but there are some things that don't load right or you can't do in Explorer. So, as far as emailing me, most of the time, if you email me through your Delgado email, I know who you are. But if you email me from like your Hotmail account, I don't know who HotChick645 is, right? You have to actually tell me who you are. You probably need to tell me what class you're in. You can say lecture, night class would be sufficient even for summer, because I only have 3 classes, my online, you guys, and my lab. But a lot of times your question is going to be related to what class you were in, right? So you need to give me that information. Same is true when you text me. You definitely need to tell me who you are most of the time and what class you're in. If you don't, I'll probably write back, who? What class? Because I'm not going to add you to my address book unless you become one of those super texters, which I might add you for the semester, just so that I know. There's a few people out there, and that's fine. It is fine. But most of you guys I'm not going to add to my address book, right? Because it would get huge in like 5 seconds. And I have trouble managing the number of people I have in it. And I lost everybody last summer. My phone wasn't being backed up, and I thought it was. So I lost everything, which was probably a good thing. Kind of start fresh. If you haven't called them in 5 years, you're probably not going to call them, right? Until you're moving and you desperately need help. And then I'm like, I don't have Angela's number anymore. All right, so for each unit, or they call them modules in Canvas, so I've kind of converted to calling them modules, you're going to have a list of objectives. And these are your study guide, right? So, and these are your study guide for the entire semester. So I don't do a specialized final exam study guide because you're going to kind of create your own final exam study guide. Especially if we get to use our computers, you guys will take your exam on the computer, and then you'll be able to see your results on the computer, and you'll be able to see what objectives that question was linked to that maybe you got wrong, or you were confused, or you guessed, and you're like, ooh, but I still get it right. But I guessed on that one. So I nearly need to know this for the final, right? Because the final's comprehensive. So that's how you guys are going to study for your final, is that after each test, you're going to review your results and figure out what you need to improve on for the comprehensive final exam. Does that make sense? Okay. So my PowerPoints that I'm going to use to lecture are based on the objectives, right? So we'll say list the characteristics of a microorganism, for example. That's not one of them, but I can't pull a real one off my head right now. And we'll go over it in the PowerPoint. Right? We'll start with an objective and we'll explain it. Okay? So there's no curveballs. You know exactly what you need to do. Discussion boards. There are several discussion boards that are meant to mirror the work that we do and give us an opportunity to delve into that material a little bit further. And you guys will start by doing an introduction discussion board so we can get to know each other a little bit better. And we'll go over the particulars of that assignment and how discussion boards are graded. You're going to have a total of 3. You're going to introduce yourselves. You're going to do one on chemicals to clean and an immunology discussion board. So not too much. Online assignments. We're going to use a program called Connect, which is through the publisher of your book, which is McGraw-Hill. And I'm glad to say this is the last semester that we'll be using that one, because we all voted this past April to switch to a new book and a new publisher, which is great for my future students, not so great for you guys, right? Because this book that you have in front of you, you'll find out once you take off the shrink wrap that if you're having trouble sleeping at night, go ahead and try and read your microbiology book in bed. You'll be asleep. I love this stuff. That book is boring. It puts me to sleep. Not to say it's not a good book. It's got all the information you need. It's just, there are better written books out there, and we have a better one that we're going to start using this fall. Not to say that anyone will buy that back anyways, right? Because we go with the cheap option at the bookstore for you guys. And so once you break that seal, it's yours to keep. But it didn't cost you $200, right? It cost $100 or something like that, right? It was $200? Yeah, again, the next book, yeah, the next book, I made a deal with them too, and it's only going to cost my students $100. But I got news for you guys, so don't open the shrink wrap yet either, right? Because this is a little trade secret that we're not really allowed to tell you guys, right? But I'm not sure how much it's going to be. But yeah, don't take the shrink wrap off. So when you go to Canvas, so required textbook, right? So you can buy that supposedly cheaper one, right? That loose leaf that some of you guys have in front of you. But, of course, I didn't put it in writing here because I can't. I may have put it in the textbook information one. So textbook options. And I do have one on reserve, right? But I don't know when the library closes this summer. I got to get their schedule. Oh yeah, I guess with tax, $172.50 would probably almost be $200. Oh my Lord Jesus. Okay, so connect. So look at this, y'all. Do you see it? Although I was told it's going to go up to 25, but I don't know when that was going to take effect. So you can have the loose leaf shipped to you from the publisher through Connect for $15 or $25. I don't know what it is because I don't have access to that. So if one of you guys want to volunteer to find out, so what you can do is under modules, I should have it. Yeah, here's the link to Connect. So what you would do is you click on Connect. Oh yeah, I can't do this as a test student. Anyone want to volunteer to sign up for Connect? Come on up. All right, so let me leave student view. And I got to sign out. Come right here and log in. You go that way, I'll go this way. There you go. You can sit or stand, whatever is comfortable. Oops. Hopefully she got it. We're not going to remember it. Okay. So, right, we go to our courses, and this is ours. You go to modules. You go to Connect. And you click I agree. And get started. And then hit Connect again. And put in your email. For this one, you don't usually have to do your Delgado email. You can do a personal email. Have you had Connect before?
I don't know.
Okay, that's okay.
That was I don't know. I think it was.
What class? Was it another biology here?
It was at I think Southeastern.
Oh yeah, they may or may not use it. Okay. The important thing is whatever you would put in here, if you can't get into Canvas, although we've only had Canvas go down once, unlike Blackboard, they used to go down all the time. You can get to this website independently of Canvas, right? So if you needed to, you would need to remember what email you signed up with.
Oh.
And you could also email that to me.
So I have to create one because it says you didn't have find that.
Okay, yeah. So if you don't already have a Connect account, like she doesn't, then as it says there, you're going to create one. And again, you can use whatever email address you want. You just need to remember which one you put in case you need it later.
If you continue to
Yep. No, yeah, you want to create a new. Yeah. All right. So it already does it. Yep. And a password. It says at least 6 characters, no spaces. So it doesn't have to be a complicated one, but you might want to do your Canvas one just to keep it consistent.
I use this password for it.
Yeah, don't we all? All right.
Okay.
So, and what I will do for just a split second, so we don't know your security question, we will, hold on, I gotta pause it too. Did continue and it took her to this next screen. What I want you guys to do right now is sign up for courtesy access. For 2 weeks, you'll have access to the ebook and all the assignments for free. And then once that's over, trust me, it will tell you and prompt you to pay, right? So if you were, or if you buy from the bookstore, like if you have financial aid and you've got to do that, you could put the code in that's in that binder when you open it.
So,
Or you can buy it online. So we're going to click just, we're not going to buy, but we're going to see what the options are. So the options right now is with the ebook for $132.75, or just the assignments that doesn't contain the ebook for $24.50. And you could always buy that and add the ebook later, right?
so we need both the book and the
Yeah, you want to have access to the book or you want to have the book. The thing with this is, let's see, how will it let us go back? Oh yeah, if you want to exit, don't hit this. This is not a button. It looks like a button, doesn't it? It's not. You have to click the word. I know. So we're going to exit out of that though. And let's see. We want, oh, she's got to finish her registration. It already does your name. You can go back later on to your account and update anything you need to. We're just going to hit submit for now. I want to try and get back to that original page. Oh, products. There we go. It's not listing anything.
I'll probably return the home page.
Yeah, that's probably what we want. No, that's the home page.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Back button. All right. When in doubt, go back to the beginning and start over. So click here. Yep.
Yeah,
There,
okay,
you finally took us back to that page. So what you're going to do right now is click here. And click continue. So now you have access. Contact. Yeah, just put your email in again.
It's small.
I know. Okay, so register, creation complete. So now she sees, and I'll get out of her account in a minute. Thank you so much. She'll click go to connect, and she'll see all the assignments. But what I want to show you guys is right here. Need a print copy. So you would click on this. Once you do the courtesy access or pay for it, you click here, and yeah, you have to actually buy access before it will let you. I just remembered that. So, buy the $24.50 access and then order the book for whatever it is they're going to tell us it is. So if one of you guys do this, shoot me an email. I'll post an announcement for us so we know whether it's gone up to 25 or it's still 15, right? Talk to me when we go on break about those. Okay, so everyone understand? Connect, right? So, okay, good. It's just for the questions. It doesn't include the book. But then you could order the book if you want the actual book like that in a loose leaf. They'll ship it to you. Last semester was $15. I heard it was probably going to go up. I don't know.
For the actual book.
For that. Yeah, it looks just like what she's got right there.
And what is the Canvas? Because I've never taken that class.
Okay, so Canvas is what's called the class management system. So have you heard of Blackboard or Moodle or yeah. So instead of Blackboard, we use Canvas. That's the only difference. Yeah, if you're enrolled in this class, you're already in Canvas. Were you not here when I took attendance? Okay. Yeah. So we'll when we go for break, a couple of you guys walked in late, huh? I'll make sure you guys are on my roll, and you should also already then therefore be in Canvas. So you have access to all of this stuff that we're looking at. Yep. So yeah, go ahead and sign up for Canvas if you want, you know, pay the $24.50, right, use your credit card, and then click to get the book sent to you for $15 or $25. I don't know what it's going to be, right? Because I don't think she wants to pay for it in front of the class. But if when you guys sign up during our break, right, you could tell us how much they're charging. But I mean, it's still better than, yeah.
Could you only get this through Delgado, or could you find it on
I wouldn't suggest, because then you don't necessarily know what you're getting. I would suggest doing it through Connect. I don't think you're going to find anything cheaper than $15 to $25. Right? If you find it cheaper than that, I'd be concerned as to what they're probably going to be sending you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not a trusted source.
Like Amazon, like other like book rental websites, it's really hard to find specific books for specific colleges.
Yeah. And we haven't modified this book at all, or like taken out chapters or anything like that, though. But yeah, it can
It's
be.
usually for like the
Yeah.
generals.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking, was it like specifically made?
No. Other schools do use that book. But I don't think you're going to find a better deal. I really don't. Okay. So let's go back to our syllabus. I probably should have left that open in another tab. I'm just going to pirate your site for a while. I will log out. I'm not going to do any of your work for you, though. All right. So back to the syllabus.
I have a question about
Mm-hmm.
the test. If they be online, will it be short answer test?
Ah, good question. Okay, I clicked on the wrong syllabus. It's going to be answered in the syllabus. All right, so list of objectives, discussion boards, online assignments. All right, so we've gone over that. The required book, we've gone over that. Assessment. You're required to attend class. There's no difference between excused and unexcused absences, right? Like I'm not going to mark, like Janice couldn't make it because her flight didn't get her here, you know. I just, it's okay if you let me know, but it's not going to affect your grade in that you don't get points for attendance, so therefore you're not going to lose points for not attending. Does that make sense? And guess what I'm going to tell you if you ask me what you missed? Go listen to the recording. And then you'll get everything you missed, right? You're adults, right? You know what you need to do, and you're lucky I'm the only microbiology professor that actually records our lectures. So you don't have to freak out when you miss my class. It's your responsibility if something happens, you get bit by a dog, right? You can't continue on school, that you got to drop this class. You laugh. It happened last semester. Some really good students, too. I was really sad to lose her. But she was struggling physically, to say the least. Okay, so that's your guys' responsibility, right, to drop yourselves. And you have to do it by a certain date to still get a W. But I'll say, too, like if you got bit by a dog or was in a car accident, contact the school, tell them why, even if it's after the drop date, why you're requesting to get dropped. And there are certain procedures and things that you can go through and still get a W even after the W date, right? So don't panic, but do what you need to do. So assessment will be exams. The Connect assignments as well you are graded on, but I set them up as homework, which is one of the settings in Connect. But what I want you guys to do is take them as if they're quizzes. I want you to close your notes. I want you to close your books. And I want you to sit down and try and answer them after you've studied the material and see if you can get them all right. It's going to tell you the correct answers when you get done. And guess what? Because I set it as homework, you can do it again. So you can get a perfect score, right? And so it'll really benefit you if you use it in that manner, right? I can't control how you do it, right? But I highly suggest that you do it as I suggested, because you won't be penalized, right? You can turn around and take it again, get a perfect score. Right? But it's meant for an assessment for you to say, do I really know this, right? Discussion boards, as I said, are meant to expand upon the objectives that we'll go over. And then there are a couple of other online assignments in Canvas that you guys will do. Your assignments, the ones that fall into that category, make up 25% of your overall grade, right? So your Connect assignments, your discussion boards, the online assignments. The final exam will comprise of 25% of your overall grade. And then the exams that you take will take up 50% of your exam. So exams, right, someone just asked this, right, are based on the learning objectives. As I said, that's your study guide for the course and what we will go over in each lecture. The exams may be any combination of matching, true and false, multiple choice, or multiple guess, depending on how you look at it, labeling. In order to preserve the integrity of the assessment, a random selection of the objectives will be on the test. So even though I'll give you all these objectives, not every single one of them will be on the test. Although I can tell you for this course, about 90% are on the test. I don't have that many objectives in this course. Makeup exams are only given if written documentation is presented to an instructor in a timely manner and a written agreement is signed by the instructor. And typically we usually actually do this via email nowadays. But if for any reason something happened, contact me as soon as possible. If you know ahead of time, once I set the schedule that you're going to miss, we can maybe even have you take it beforehand, right? So the important thing is communicate with me and don't make me chase after you. Right. Although this is a small class, so I might be tempted to actually contact you if you don't show up. Because I do actually care about you guys, and I get freaked out when you don't show up. So these are, so did I answer your testing question? Okay. These are the topics for each one of the modules that we're going to do. So we're going to start out with microbiology, and most of the microbiology that we're going to talk about is in Chapter 1, but there's some that's in Chapter 35. And that's why that one's in parentheses, because it's only part of that chapter. We're going to talk about microscopy, which is Chapter 2. Our next topic is prokaryotes, which is divided into 2 chapters now, 3 and 4, which is bacteria and archaea, and then eukaryotes. That's our first set of topics, each with individual objective lists that you'll take a test on. That'll be our test 1. Our test 2 will be on the topics of viruses, genetics, growth, and control. And for growth, one of the things that I talk about, which is nutritional types, they moved it to a different chapter. They moved it to 11. So again, hence why that one's in parentheses. It goes with that. In Chapter 8, we won't cover all of the chapter either. That's why it's in parentheses. So you get really excited when you get to Module 3, right? Because you see 2 chapters. Yeah, no. Those are monster chapters. They're huge. It's a lot of stuff. It's all on immunology. And if you're going into nursing, these are the chapters, right, that are really going to help you when you get into nursing school. All of my microbiology students, if you're at Charity School of Nursing, are the ones leading the study groups for immunology, because my students know their stuff when it comes to immunology. They come back to me and they're like, Miss Erica, my study group loves me. And I'm like, you're welcome. So it's my favorite. It's what my degree is in molecular biology with a concentration in immunology. Right? So this is the stuff that gets me really excited. And I have to say, when I first started teaching, I probably wasn't that good at teaching it because there was never a time it didn't make sense to me. But thanks to my students over the years and talking with you guys and the different activities done, I've really kind of learned how to make it understandable for someone who's never been exposed to this before. Does that make sense to you guys? Right? When I used to teach anatomy and physiology too, they're like, we love you. And I was like, y'all, I learned this 2 weeks ago. I know how hard it is, and I know all the tricks, and that's why I'm sharing them with you, right? Because I just did it. I took comparative when I was in college. You know, I didn't take human anatomy. I thought I was going to be a veterinarian. So I didn't do human stuff. Animals and humans really aren't different, right? We put ourselves on this little pedestal. We think, humans aren't animals, but we are. So it's not that I didn't know. It's just that we didn't delve as deep as they do in human anatomy here into certain things. I know it all now, though. I can name all those major blood vessels. Yeah, I don't miss it. So those Connect assignments, each assignment ranges from 10 to 20 points apiece. It's going to be a total of 140 points for those. Each one of the exams is going to be 100 except for the final. Because it's higher weighted, it's 200 points. So a total of 600 points in exams. You're going to do an agreement assignment, which is worth 5 points. Basically goes over the syllabus, right? You're going to do the introduction assignment, which we're going to do through a website and the discussion board in Canvas, and we'll go through that next. You'll do an end of the course feedback survey, and I value your feedback that much that I give you 5 points for doing it. I read everything my students write every semester, and I actually make changes to the course based on their suggestions and what they liked and didn't like. As I said, 2 discussion boards. We're going to have one for immunology and one for chemicals used to clean. And then you'll have a case study assignment, which is worth 20 points. And instead of doing a research project like most sophomore level major science classes would have to do, since a lot of my students are usually nursing or allied health students or vet tech, funeral services has their own micro course now, so I don't get them anymore. Am I missing anybody? You're just a biology major, right? But everyone's always interested about themselves, right? Disease and illness and stuff like that. So I have set up case studies for you guys to do, and you take an open book, open notes test on Canvas on all of the 6 case studies I have posted for you guys. And most of the case studies I have recordings and PowerPoints for you guys to listen to, but one of them I have you guys do on your own, and that's the 20-point case study assignment. And I need to update my syllabus. I missed a blackboard. But all your grading is going to be in Canvas, and hopefully even your Connect. I'm going to learn hopefully next week how to connect both Canvas and Connect. We were able to do that before in Blackboard, but the publisher didn't have their stuff together for Canvas yet, and I've been told in our last meeting that we can get them to link up. So your assignments will show up in Canvas for Connect, but when you click on it, it'll link you into into Connect, from Canvas into Connect. But the good news is that the grade book will transfer over, so all your grades will be in Canvas, and you don't have to look at Connect and Canvas to figure out your grade. Does that make sense? All right, because they are separate, but they're linked. Okay, students with disabilities, right? As I said, or probably said, or haven't said, I have dyslexia, right? I've been through it. I know what it's like to have difficulties. So if you need additional time, if you need to take your test at the testing center instead of in here with the rest of the class, just make sure you get your accommodation letter to me. Make sure you talk over with me, and I give you everything that you need to succeed within reason. Right? I'm not going to give you the answers to the test, but anything else, I will do it for you. No problem. All right. So you have to self-identify disability services. So make sure you do that now if you haven't already. And they will put together your accommodations and send the letter to me. And then we'll meet and make sure that we get everything together for you to be successful. So I've been there, done that. I know what that's like. So you don't have to worry about one of those professors that says, I don't want to do that. I don't think I should have to do that. You won't get that from me. So these are general guidelines for the discussion board. I'm not going to really go over it other than to mention one thing. Please do not write in all caps. That's like shouting at somebody in computer language, right? It's really hard to read too, right? And I promise I won't shout at you either, okay, in my announcements or anything like that. I'll bold it sometimes, right? But I won't put it all in caps. So please extend that courtesy to the rest of us as well, and don't do that in discussion boards. So that's the syllabus addendum, right? Pretty much all the really important stuff you want to know. And so day 1, the first thing you want to do is register for Connect. So this is written out instructions about what we just did with your classmate. And if I go to the next, where's the next button? It's not there. Okay. I guess I just got to go back to modules. And this goes through those steps with pictures. Right? Some of us do better with pictures to remember stuff, but you also have this recording, right, that you watch over too if you don't remember what we did. But this even starts at Canvas, but some of it's kind of old. But pretty straightforward. Right? Those are all the steps that we went through. There should be a next button. There's my next. Yay. So, and there's that link that we clicked on, right? And then you click on connect here, and it will take you to going through those steps if it's your first time. Now that she's registered, when she clicks on this, how do you say your first name? Daisha. When Daisha clicks, right, it's going to take her right to the assignments now that she signed up for the courtesy access, right? But she can go in and she can purchase. See, right, look right there, upgrade to full connect. It's even right there in front of you. And it tells you the date when you will no longer get in for free. But once you do that, too, you could click on this and order the book. So I would suggest doing that as soon as possible. But you can see all the assignments for the whole semester are already there. Even a couple of bonus ones. And it did take us to an outside link. So I'm just going to click back. And click our next button. Which brings us to the next thing we're going to do, which is really fun. And I usually have a link for it. I guess maybe this will work. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to take us to another web page. So you're going to take a real quick Kingdomology self-personality type quiz thing. So what you do is you scroll down. Ooh, maybe. The test. Oh, look, they changed the main page on me. This is why it's always good if I go through this. Click the test. Profile test. So you got to put in your name, but it doesn't say you have to use your real name. Notice, ooh, they've changed it to email is required. But also didn't say it had to be a real one. Although that one is one of my real ones. What's my job title? They said that's optional, but that used to be required. I think they screwed these two up. But they definitely want to know how satisfied you are, right? So I'm completely satisfied, otherwise you should be looking for a new job. I don't want the newsletter, so I'm going to click next. And I want to do it in English. I unfortunately never learned another language. English. Oh, question 1. All right. So the way this works is they're going to give you 4 things to rank, and they're going to do this 10 times. You have 10 questions. Not too bad. So what you're going to do, and where people sometimes mess up, is they try to use a number more than once. You can't have 2 number ones, right? You've really got to pick only one of these for one. So for me, my absolute favorite is my family or friends. And then I really like food, so that's 2 for me. A new place, yes, I'm excited about my new place. That would be 3, and therefore a competitive or learning situation. Usually that one ranks kind of 3 for me, but the other one's outranking it right now. But the important thing is you can only use each number once, right? It will let you, like, I could do this, right? But then look, it clears it. And you have to start over. It won't let you go to the next question, right? So you actually have to only use each number once, right? And then you're going to go to the next question. And you're going to do that 10 times. And then it's going to give you a result, okay? And they're cool results. And I'm going to cheat because I already did it. But I got to log out, because I'm not in my account. I don't like this view. Oh. Oh. Fall. That's lab. Fall. That's next fall. No, that's this fall. I want this spring. There we go. So discussion board. introduction. And there I am. And I actually hyperlinked it. So there's my result. So this is the page that you're going to get when you get done. So I came out the shepherd, right, which makes sense considering my profession. All of this stuff next to the picture, all of this stuff down to where it's bolded right here where it says shepherd, all that's the same for everybody, right? This is the part you want to highlight and copy. So from your actual result down to this bar. So you right click, you would copy, and then you would go back to the introduction and paste it in. So I'm going to go back to our class now. I didn't turn on the discussion boards page for you guys, but it's here too. Right on our main page. So how you reply to the discussion board itself is you'll see right underneath the description, you click reply. And so in this case, I paste my result in, right, so everyone else can see what I got. And that's only the first step, or the first and second step, right? So you get 4 points for just doing that. Then tell us if these results fit you or not, right? And for me, yeah, these are dead on, right? I am And then you can, if you want, notice this one doesn't get any points, you can say something about yourself, introduce yourself to the class, right? For instance, tell us about going to LSU Allied Health Sciences, right? Or anything else about you that you want to share, right? So I'm moving right now, my legs feel like a ton of bricks, right? Pray that I don't get rained on tomorrow as I move my furniture, right? So, please, no rain tomorrow. And then, so I'm going to post that reply. And what's going to happen is, we're all going to have ours down here. And I probably should have stayed in that other class for a minute. So that's the first step. But then you need to respond to at least 2 of your classmates. Right? And you get 2 points for each response. So once we start getting responses, how you reply to someone else's response is you'll see my response here, and you see at the bottom of my box, there's a reply. Right? But when you're doing it for the first time, right, you need to hit this first reply here under the original post for the discussion board. Does that make sense to you guys? These little things are kind of cool because as we start getting a lot of posts, right, it's going to pile up down here. If you hit this button, it shrinks them, right? So then you can just see the first line of my post. So if, for instance, you got shepherd 2, you might look for other shepherds. Or you might see some other result like a white knight, and you might be curious as to what that is, right? And want to read their description and say hi to them. You're here for microbiology? Okay. Come on in and have a seat. So I'll show you that other class real quick to give you an idea how helpful that can be. I hear Charlie teaching her A&P class. Across the hall. If it's distracting for you guys, close the door. You're more than welcome to do so. So here's their introduction. So notice we had 120 posts in this. So you can see mine, right? And then people who replied to me, and then more posts, right? And it's mesmerizing as you scroll down, right? So to shrink it up, again, you just push this button, right? And it'll shrink it up so you can quickly scan the list, right, of different ones. And then if you see Dominique, she was a really cool student. She was in my lab too, right? You could click on, and this is always where I have trouble. How do you get it to open back up, just hers? I think because this discussion board's closed. Where do you click? I know if I click on her, it's going to go to her profile. That's not what I want. Oh, back. All right. Yeah, the setting. No, go to parent. Oh, I clicked on something else. Oh, it expanded them. I don't know what I clicked on, but, you know, just play around with it. It's possible. But I find shrinking it up makes it easy when we start having a lot. But we only have 12 people enrolled in this class, so it shouldn't get too huge. I mean, that one had 120 some odd posts when it was all said and done. All right, so I think we're about almost ready for break. Let me see what else I got on here, though. So day one, right? As soon as you can, register for Connect, maybe even not the courtesy, but the $24.50. And so you can order your book. Do your introduction, like we just did. And then once people start posting, reply. And then, yeah, Module 1. So this is, I started to do this weird system, which then I stopped because it got to be too confusing, right? You see all these dates and stuff like that. I got to do a separate page for you guys. But what you really want is the objectives, right? That's your study guide and the PowerPoints. So I'll probably make changes to this page over the weekend. I forgot I had done that. You know, I try, like I said, I try new things. Sometimes it works out, other times it doesn't work out. It's not intuitive, doesn't make sense. So I don't know. You know what they sent me? Let me look real quick. Because I say I don't know the answer to this, but they sent me an email. And I didn't open it. So let's see. Open. I'm wondering if the lab upstairs is open, if some of you guys that like to print notes can print if you have your Delgado ID. So let's see. God, I probably scrolled right past it because I only get like a gazillion. Oh, lab, open lab hours. So there's a computer lab right upstairs in this building. Monday through, it's open till 8 o'clock. So if some of you guys want to walk up during break that we're going to take right now, if you have your Delgado ID and if you want to print the first set of notes that we're going to go over tonight, if you'd like to do that, you don't have to. It's up to you. I'll take you up there and show you where it is, and you can print your notes if you have your Delgado ID, though. You can't do it otherwise. And each semester they automatically put money on your card for printing. But then later on you might have to add it depending on how often you use it. But that's good to know. But as I said, Delgado shuts down, right, Thursday night. I kid you not, they're probably going to walk around and kick us out of here, but tonight we're going to be out before they kick us out. They shut this place down at 9 o'clock on Thursday night, and they don't reopen it until like 7 a.m. on Monday, which really kind of sucks. Because you guys still have stuff to do, right? I still have stuff to do. So, all right. So, let me